Happy Friday, bobbers, and welcome back to another video on our YouTube channel. Today, unfortunately, Rob is not here to do the intro and the outro for you guys, so you've got me instead. Today, you're joining Rob and I on a breakdown where we ended up having to change the coil on the boiler. I'm not the expert in this topic, so I'm just going to pass you straight over to Rob.
Okay, so here we are. We're here now. This is Wallstar, as you can see. I haven't been here before. Second one of the day I haven't been before. If you look down here, Isabel, shine down there, look, they've put the condenser into the downpipe, which obviously you don't do. It then comes down here and pops up to the boiler, which obviously is no good here. Also, that's less than a metre from there to there to the boundary as well. That's not ideal. Not ideal even. So we're just going to pop the front off it and we just give it a lift. Sometimes they can be tight enough, they are. And as we can see in here, it's in the lockout position. So the first thing we can do is a tiny bit of air in the line there, but they do have a floating bubble in there, so I'm not bothered about that. So we're just going to press the button. We're going to see what happens. About 10 to 15 seconds and away it goes. Okay, so we're just going to let it get going now. Okay, at the moment it's running fine, and I've heard the spark cut out as well, so obviously we're happy with the pre-purge of the boiler. We're happy that it's got a spark and it's obviously fired, and then obviously we're happy that the photocell has taken over and turned the spark off. So we know that the control box is okay, the photocell is okay, the motor's okay, capacitor's okay, pump's okay because it's running at the moment. So that just, for me, leaves coil or something like that, unless it's an intermittent lockout and just does it now and again. So what we're going to do is we're going to let it warm up now, anything up to probably 20 minutes to half an hour. And what I'm hoping is going to probably happen is that the coil is going to get a bit warm, and then the coil is going to break down and the boiler is going to stop. If I was a guessing man, that's what I'd say it is now. I look for things while it's running, like at the moment it's not pulling air. Yes, there's bubbles where I've been banging it, but there's nowhere, a tiny bit there, that's where I've banged it. But it's not pulling air, so I'm happy it's not an air problem. Okay, so we've basically just got to sit with it now and see what happens. As we can see, it's been running about 5 minutes now and it's still running absolutely fine. Something that the customer did say is that the radiators only get tepid before it fails. So again, that's telling me it's running about, oh, there we go, as we speak, we can hear the flame has now cut out. Okay, so obviously it's going to go through a repurge now. So the fan's still working, etc, etc. I can just hear the spark still. What we should get in now is a click and the boiler should fire. But we're not actually even hearing a click at the moment. So we're just going to wait and see. And it's locked out. So if I hold the coil here, yeah, the coil's red hot as well. So I'm absolutely happy that it's a coil failure. The trouble with coils when they fail is you can't just put a meter on them. It's quite hard unless they're absolutely dead. Sometimes it does tell you a sign that something's starting to go wrong, but normally these fail when they're hot. So obviously when they're cold, your readings are perfect, and when they're hot, they break down. And by the time you get a meter on there, the readings aren't open circuit anymore. Because if I was to push that button now, it would probably just go again for another 5 minutes. That's how it works. Right, so I'm just going to pop back to the van and get a coil. It's a T85 coil, and we'll change it and see if it works. And we're back. So just a standard T85 coil. There's your part number there if you want it. And to do this, the first thing is safe isolation. The quickest way here is to just pull that off there, get rid of that phone call. Okay, so that's now safely isolated. At the top here you've got a 13mm nut. Always easy just to use a ratchet and a socket. Right, you don't have to fully undo this, you only have to undo this a few turns like so. Okay, once you've done that, I'm just going to move that out of the way here. Put the coil in my pocket. You've literally just got to twist the burner like so, give it a little pull, and out it comes. Okay, watch the end, it's very, very hot. Let's have a little look at there. That's actually going to want a nozzle in it as well, but that's not to the breakdown. So I'm going to go through the breakdown with you, fire it and show you how all that side works. And then actually when I finish this vlog, I'm actually going to change the nozzle afterwards. But for the purpose of the breakdown, that's all we're going to do. Right, you can't just get to that easily. There's two ways of doing that. You either remove this and take it off, or you remove that and take it off. Okay, we're going to opt to move the oil pump because it's nice and simple to do. So we've just got the Allen keys. There's one at the back like so. There's one that's at the top here. And there's one that's here. Right, so that become loose. Now you have got this nozzle line here. We always recommend you undo the nozzle line and take it out on most boilers, but on this you've got quite a bit of flex on here, so you can literally just pull it back and get on there like so. Okay, so we're just going to get the Allen key again. For people that don't know, the T85 is the later coil. They look absolutely identical, but they've got like a little picture of a diamond because it's part of the diamond series on it. Okay, whereas this here is a standard older coil that's obviously been on here quite a while, as you can tell, because this is as stiff as hell. Right, there we go. So off it comes. Check around here for leaks. There's no leaks around here. Make sure there's no issues there. That was stiff coming off. A very good sign of these being actually starting to fail is because they're stiff, because these swell slightly. You won't see any cracking on that, but I can guarantee that's the end of that. So I'm just going to put that out of the way. Bit of a box unopening now, Isabel. It's a box unopening. There we go. Just comes in a little van. Sorry if you heard a bit of singing in the background. Someone just walked by singing and they've got their earpods in. Quite entertaining that, wasn't it, Isabel? Okay, here we go. Okay, put it back on again. Do not over tighten this nut. If you over tighten this nut, what it does is it pulls on the seal that's down there and your oil pump starts leaking, and then you end up needing an oil pump as well, or a new stem at least. So we have a lot of people, as you can see, we're going to do that up, nip, that's it, still moves, look. We have a lot of people that have changed the coils and then they've had to come back a bit later and put new pumps on. Okay, so that's not ideal. Again, because we've just pulled that out, we should just be able to line that back up and put that back in again. Is it going to go this time, Isabel? Yep, like so. Make sure the HT lead doesn't get in the way. When you put that back into position, the pump normally sits in that position like so. So it's sort of square on with the control box. So I'm just going to put that in now. Don't be lazy. Please do all 3 screws up, because if you don't do all 3 screws up, it can actually cause the pump to nip. And on some occasions, it makes the boiler break down. Number 2, don't over tighten these, because it's stainless steel bolt into an aluminium casting on the back of the motor as well. So just do it up, nip, and that's it. Once that's done, as you can see, it literally does not move. That's fine. Right, we're just going to plonk this lead back in. Make sure it's in nice and tight. You know about the nozzle. I've said to you it does need a nozzle spoiler, but I'm going to prove to you that that's not the fault first. I can come back and stick a nozzle in after we finish this video. I'm just going to slide that back in like so. Okay, again, cross slightly, back, done. Once that's done, we just nip it up again. As you're doing it up, just hold this side slightly to make sure it stays in position, and again, nip, that's it. If you don't hold it there as you do that up, sometimes it can drop back, and we do come to a few where they're over at a funny angle and they're not correct. Okay, so we're going to reconnect the power again. Okay, the reason that's done that, 2 things I've heard there. Number 1 is I heard a bit of a whine from the motor there temporarily, and it went off immediately. That's because it has cooled down. I did hear it earlier, but I didn't quite catch it to tell you. That's a bearing just starting to go, so we will note that to the customer, because at the end of the day, we're here to get them warm. I've got another 8 or 9 to do today, so that'll be booked in to be done another day. The reason that fired and stopped again, well, it didn't fire, it started to pre-purge and stop, is because it's got a DKO box on it, which means you can reset it inside as well. Because it's digital, every single time that you connect power to that, that would do that rev up and stop to double check it's in the lockout position. To get rid of that, push, let go. Away we go. I've got that little whine again there, and it went off quite quickly, so that's good. I'm expecting that to fire up in about 10 seconds. Boom, away it goes. Okay, so we're just, again, that little bubble of air's moving, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a problem with the boiler. Okay, we're going to go away for 10 minutes now, okay, and sit and watch it, and we'll be back, and hopefully we'll still be running. If it's not, we'll be doing a bit more investigation work. We'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. I'll be honest, we've been 20 minutes on now, so we let it run for 10 minutes, and then I've just nipped it out and I've changed the nozzle on the burner. Okay, just to make sure that's okay. Yeah, so going back to the actual breakdown, it's running absolutely fine now, so it was definitely the coil, nothing else. Quite a very straightforward scenario, that one. Just for people that aren't aware, I'm just going to button it up. So obviously they don't normally come with this inside. Someone's been nice, we don't hurt ourselves. You literally push. Oh, I've taken this stuff off. Oh, that's a tight one. That's a very tight one there. There's little slots there, you can see where they go onto. Okay, so that's now on. Once it's on, you make sure you've pushed it down, it's fine. And then obviously we just do the 2 screws up each side. Really critical on these, you can see here, that flue's not quite in the right position on here. This gets hot, but not that hot. And what I'm going to do in a second, I'm going to turn it off first because my glass is steaming up. I'm going to pull that back because these do just pull back and they go up. So I will be able to centralise that as well. So that's it for this one, and I'll speak to you back in the van.
And that is it. That is this week's YouTube video. Cheering from us at Barton Burner Services, and we hope that you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, then please do subscribe and feel free to leave a comment, and hopefully we will see you guys in our next video. Stay safe.